Veterans know that you need a map to help you get where you want to go. But when it comes to getting a job in the tech sector, a map might not be enough. Now there's a new program to help veterans, especially those formerly employed by the federal government and recently laid off, make the transition into high-demand private sector cybersecurity and tech roles. Here to tell us more about this effort, Vets in Tech founder and CEO, Catherine Webster. Catherine, let's start with the problem statement. I mean, veterans were among the most impacted by the recent efforts to reduce the federal workforce, and they were overrepresented, really, in the terminated probationary periods because they were people who'd been recently hired or promoted. I know you have your finger on the veteran employment and unemployment situation. What are you hearing out there?
Yes, well, unfortunately, I did hear that it is about a third of the total, like 1 in 3 of the people that are being displaced at the moment are veterans. And so we very much we have lots of jobs open in the tech space. And so we want to stand here with open arms and see what we can do to help.
Well, let's follow up on that because Elon Musk has urged all the former feds to find, and I'm using my air quotes here, higher value work in the private sector. Now, we might disagree on that whole proposition, but you and your organization, Vets in Tech, are really trying to facilitate the transition, particularly the cyber and security tech sector jobs for veterans. So tell us about the opportunities there and why you want to target the veteran employment.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I started this organization 13 years ago with Craig Newmark, founder of Craigslist, who cares deeply about national security, as we all do. And so we do find that our veterans today are so tech savvy and make great candidates in the tech sector. So especially in the fields of cybersecurity. We focus on education, employment, and entrepreneurship. And so we do quite a bit through our Vets in Tech Academy to upskill even, today veterans that might just need a basic certification. They're already pretty tech savvy and well educated, but it might just be one little certification that might help them make that jump into tech. And we have that in the Vets in Tech Academy, where we're training in AI, machine learning, data science, cloud computing. Cybersecurity is our biggest sector, but web development and even professional roles. And we work really hard to demystify tech. So 80% of the jobs in tech are actually professional roles. You don't have to code to get a job in tech. And that is a big myth that's out there, and why a lot of veterans haven't pursued tech roles. And so project management, sales, marketing, HR, finance, operations, everybody is very well qualified to do those roles. And we feel very passionate that our veterans and their families and military spouses deserve these higher paying jobs, which lead to better quality of life. So we couldn't ask for a better audience to give that to. So the Academy is one source we can put veterans through training. We have over 40 tech employers, the who's who in tech, that want to hire these veterans. We have at Vets in Tech, through our employer network, over 50,000 jobs open right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And I can get into the ways veterans, can join us. We have the capacity. Vets in Tech, since starting 13 years ago, we're now over 100,000 strong in our community in over 25 chapters. So there are boots on the ground, for veterans to make connections. We often say your network is your net worth. And sometimes they just need that network to get into these great fields.
Well, you made a point earlier, and I just want to kind of circle back to it, that you don't have to be a tech expert from the start to get into these fields. You're looking for all kinds of skill sets, veteran skill sets, spouses, everybody who's interested in making some kind of leap into the tech sector.
Right, exactly. So, and we're seeing, even back, I think after World War II, 45% of veterans started their own business. And today that's dropped to like 4%. But there are many entrepreneurs that we're seeing in veteran space as well, and they create jobs. So It's really great working with our veterans in entrepreneurship as well as employment.
I'm speaking with Catherine Webster. She's the founder and CEO of Vets in Tech. So you've got a new program that you just launched, Vets in AI. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Of course, this onslaught of AI was coming on strong about 18 months ago. And I wanted to run a panel discussion on it. I called Microsoft. They gave me a vet. I called Amazon. They gave me a vet. OpenAI. They gave me a vet. Google gave me a vet. And I was like, wow, we have quite a few vets in AI. And together with one of our great board advisors, France Hong, who has an AI company, he's a West Point Army guy and super knowledgeable in this space, we launched it together, and we find why veterans make such great careers in AI. It's very similar to cybersecurity. And I often say, who are you going to call? Like the trust, the ethics, the security clearances, they're tech savvy. And they're also, in the cybersecurity, such natural protectors that they're taking things that they know in the physical world into the digital world really, really well and adopting. And we've started them out in just fundamentals. So today we have 3 various classes you can take in AI, whether the biggest in demand is AI engineer, of course, but AI for business leaders or AI for startups. And these are all available industry platforms. You can take those in self-paced. The demand, of course, for these roles is through the roof right now. I think I saw a LinkedIn publication that had what each state was hiring for and their employers, and AI engineer was on number 1, but in the top 10 list everywhere. So we know the demand is there, and we are encouraging people. We are creating a platform where we have quarterly meetups, and people can come just to discover and learn and figure out how to, as France put it, the crawl, walk, run approach. Just start playing with it and get used to it, and then they can take any one of those approaches. They can deep dive into becoming an AI engineer, which is highly, highly sought after, to just using it in their everyday business and business leadership, decision making. Of course, you always have to add that human sanity check, to it. But again, the veterans make excellent candidates for these roles. And we were somewhat surprised to learn how many we had working on these applications and products inside tech already. And we think that that's just a great way to go.
So who do you think the target veteran is for this program? Could you describe that person?
Well, again, it would depend on the role you want to go after, whether it's, the non-technical roles to the professional role. But all veterans make great candidates for this, and it is because of the tech-savvy nature of today's veteran. And Vets in Tech over the last few years has really become better known in defense tech and space applications, so the frontier tech. Mm-hmm. We want our veterans to get out there, and get ahead of this, and because of defense applications, the big companies. We've recently just come from one of the darlings in defense tech industry now, Anduril, where they hosted us. Palmer Luckey hosted us to recruit veterans into those roles. Scale, another one that's hiring a bunch, Scale AI, Anthropic. And so we definitely feel that they would be good in excelling as an AI engineer or as a business professional.
Got it. And as I understand it, this new Vets in AI program even has kind of a pitch contest, like a Shark Tank, for folks who might be interested in launching their own business concepts.
Yes, and I know you were with us at one of those many years ago, but then our hackathons. But we do hold a annual pitch event. We're doing that with the support of JP Morgan Chase at Andreessen Horowitz, which is big on American
Huge.
dynamism.